Alright, we're going to be watching Frostyfeet, who's playing Reinhardt. This is Platinum 5 on PC. And based on the usernames, I would assume this is somewhere in Asia. I felt that in this game, this is on King's Row. I felt that in this game, I gave the enemy space to eat too easily during the defense part of the game, and I failed to target the squishies and mainly attack the tank. I also don't know when I should attack their supports if the tank just walks past me or help protect my backline. I hope I can get some advice on how I can be better on tank and want to get off my loss streak. I main Rein and Sigma most of the times and sometimes swap to Zarya if needed. So, I've already seen this game, and I think we're going to focus on three things. I think we're going to focus at the very beginning, right, the first offensive fight, and then the third point, right, where you get completely stuck playing against Winston. So first point, you're playing against Zarya. Third point, you're playing offense, you're playing against Winston. And then I think we'll cover maybe the defense side as well against Junker Queen. And I would say that your general problems are related to one, not being aggressive enough when you do have space and time. Two, the mechanics of trading, right? As in, like, when you're fighting, a 1v1 situation, like, let's say you're fighting the Zarya here, like, can you get all of your hits in and trade positively? Because you are often missing hammer, like, a lot of hammer swings. Like, way too many hammer swings you were missing, because, like, that should not be something that you ever miss. So, the mechanics of trading. And number three, making sure to stay alive when you get low. And low, as defined for tanks, is typically around 50% health. Once you hit on Reinhardt, like for Reinhardt, often people say simply when you run out of armor. Once you run out of armor, you are in grave danger of dying. Tanks get melted extremely fast, especially as you get higher rank. So you need to play differently when you get low. But sometimes you're like, oh, I got like 250 health, I can shatter here. But unless you shatter literally everyone, whoever is still alive can still kill you. All right, but let's watch this right here. So we're gonna walk forwards. All right, Zarya's right here. What's the game plan against Zarya? It's force bubble number 1, shield. Force bubble number 2, shield. Start applying damage, right? She's gonna get bubble number 3 pretty quickly after that, like probably only like 3 to 4 seconds. Force bubble number 3, shield. Wait for the bubble to expire, kill her. Like, that's always the game plan against Zarya, right? Force bubble 1, shield. Force bubble 2, shield. Start applying damage, like real damage pressure, because now she doesn't have a bubble for like 3 to 5 seconds. Then she uses bubble number 3. After she pops bubble number 3, it will be 10 seconds until her next bubble, versus it's only about 5 seconds between bubble 2 and bubble 3 because the cooldown starts from the first bubble she uses. So once she pops bubble number 3 and that bubble expires, or you can just kill her through it, you immediately apply immense pressure for her. So everything you're thinking of doing is keeping your health high until she goes through bubble number 3, and then you can full commit to her, right? And if you have fire strikes, even better. But once she hits after bubble number 3, you hard send, right? Just everything you possibly can to kill her. Now, most likely she will not die because Zaryas are also aware that this is a vulnerable period for her, so she will back up. But that's okay because that's still my job, right? After bubble number 3, she's like, I can't play here, and she'll use bubble number 3 to escape back here, which is fine. Then we reset, right? I go here, I wait for shield, I do the exact same thing again, right? Go up, force a bubble, right? Stop, go up, force a bubble, okay? Now, after the very first fight, she usually doesn't have 2 bubbles on charge unless like something else has gone on. So I typically only need to force 2 bubbles, at which point I just walk over her and win the fight. That's the general game plan for Rein versus Zarya. Right. So one of the questions you asked is like when to target tank versus when to attack the supports. As Reinhardt, you basically always have to attack the tank if the tank is a brawler, because you have no ability to get past the tank other than to charge. Charging in on your own is extremely dangerous because there's lots of effects that can be used to stun you, disable you, prevent healing. It often breaks LOS. You can get focused down from multiple angles and prevent your shield. So for Reinhardt, you typically have to fight the tank if the tank is a brawler. If the tank is like a Sigma, like a poker, then often you still need to fight the tank first. If it's a dive tank, though, you're usually ignoring the dive tank, except in certain situations. Like, this game is actually a weird exception to that rule, because they're playing Winston on King's Row, which is very unusual, and it's a very linear, flat map, which means you actually have a lot of opportunities to kill the Winston. But in general here, my goal is not, hey, let me go here and kill the supports, because nothing's going to happen. Like, if you charge in right now, the Moira's going to fade away, the Cassie's going to roll away, the Soldier's going to jump away, right? The Ana here is conceivably killable, but she'll sleep you on the way in anyway. So, like, literally nothing will happen if you're just going to feed if you charge in and kill her. So my goal here is I'm just going to focus down the Zarya and kill her, especially at this angle. So always think of corners as 90-degree angles that change the nature of fights. Anyone who's playing here cannot be healed by their team because the corner will block them. So as long as the Zarya is here, she's very vulnerable. If the Zarya is here, she's somewhat vulnerable, right? If she's over here, not vulnerable at all, because her supports are going to be playing back here, and she's super, super safe, right? But again, over here, the Zarya is in danger, and you need to exploit that. So, get up, right? Start swinging on her. Great. So you're going to miss that swing. That's no good, right? You just started slightly to the right, and you would have hit this one. Then you should have got another swing in there too. You see how you're backing away from her? This is the wrong time. If she's not going to pop her bubble, I'm going to keep swinging. So this Zarya right now has all 2 bubbles, but fine, just keep swinging, right? You need to have that instinct, be like, okay, hit number 2. This should be hit number 3 right here. You missed this, okay? Again, you could actually attack through this, but like start from the right and you don't miss this. Then I stay connected to her. I do not let her leave my range. I swing again and hit her. See how you're strafing away? This is bad. Just keep hitting her. You're like pretty healthy right now. You're around a corner, right? You're good here. Just keep swinging. I know there's like disruptor behind you, but that's fine. It's not a problem for you, right? It's gonna zone your team for a little bit, but you're fine here. Keep swinging. You need to force the bubble out. If she does not bubble, right, that's gonna be a problem for you later. So you get around the corner. You don't need to do this. I don't need to give the space. So you see how you're gonna back up through the choke, but why? Why are we doing this right now? Is this helping us win the game? Right? Is anyone on our team dead? Do we need to reset? Do we need to like go get? No, like we're good. The Zarya is in an extremely vulnerable position. Just keep punishing her. Just stay here and just keep hitting her until she uses bubble. Then shield. Then hit her again. Then shield. Then you kill her. Right? Same. It's that this is the core gameplay loop of Reinhardt versus Zarya is this. See how you missed that swing too? Like this happens all the time. Like you should be hitting 90% plus of your swings. Right? I think even once players hit like diamond-ish, they basically hit 100% of their swings. You're missing swings all the time. This one is 1, too early, but 2, you can still hit it if you use the camera swing technique, right? Because that extends the range of your swing just like half a meter or so. But that would have been enough here to actually hit the Zarya. So I do have a very short guide on that I'll link it in the resources. But like you need to be hitting these swings. So we really don't want to be fire striking here. We want to be hitting her with the hammer. Because Fire Strike is telegraphed, right? There's a big wind up for it. So if you do a Fire Strike, she can bubble it off. But for the regular swing, you can cancel it at any moment in time, and it does less damage than Fire Strike. So it's less value if she bubbles it. So you get purpled here, you could sit around the corner, but honestly, I'm fine. Like, I'm still healthy. I have basically a full health shield. Just hold shield and walk forwards. Like, you don't have a good feel for when you are actually basically unkillable. Right? You could just walk forwards right now. I don't need to block here. Just don't focus too much on like, oh, I need the shield for my team. Especially there's nobody behind you right now. Focus on using the shield for you. I want to use the shield to safely advance here, and I want to continue applying pressure to the Zarya. Right? I cannot emphasize this enough. I need to keep applying pressure. So you go right side, but the Zarya goes left side. I mean, this is awkward. I think you can just sit here on the left. Zarya can't stay here on the right indefinitely, most likely. Right? You can just stay here, apply pressure to the back line, zone them back, right? And your team will eventually force the Zarya back. Right here is a great charge moment. But you do it late. So, right here, you see how she's jumping? She cannot turn back until she lands, hits the ground, then she starts walking backwards. If you charge to the right of her, either 1, you're going to pin her in the corner, which is virtually guaranteed to be a kill, or option 2, you're going to bump her towards your team, which is also extremely likely to be a kill. So that was your moment right here. But right here, it's still, a charge is a reasonable option right now. The problem is you're pointing too far to the left. Again, I would point to the right. For charges, my recommendation is worry less about the pin and worry more about the repositioning. If I charge to the right here, there are only 2 possibilities. 1, I pin her, and then she dies. Option 2, I bump her, and she dies. Because she's going to go flying this direction if I charge from here, right? That's going to bump her to the left. But if you charge to the left here, option 1 is maybe you pin, but option 2 is I bump her this way, which is a lot more likely that she's going to survive. So, just a thought about charges is like you really need to think about where you're placing them. You don't want to take this wide angle. You're not a wide angle hero, right? You're not a Sigma, you're not a Orisa, you're not a Ramatra. You don't want to be out here because if you stand out here, what are you going to do? they're just gonna shoot you. And then what do you just swing at the air? Like, that's not gonna help you fight. Like, you're not applying any pressure. So that's why you don't really want this side. Like, you can clear the side if there's like, you know, a Junkrat here that's being a problem. You can clear it for your team, but you want to play this inside corner right here, right? This like inside you. One of the ways I teach to take King's Row is you take this side. First of all, you clear statue for your team, right? Because your DPS and supports are gonna want to play out here. But then you fight here, and then you just touch this side of the point. All you gotta do is touch the corner of the point, and someone in the enemy team needs to stand on the point. And then whoever it is, you can fight them, and then your whole team has all these angles to shoot at them. And if you're like, hey, look, I'm taking too much pressure, I just step around the corner and I'm safe. And you just keep doing this over and over and over again until you win the point. It is very effective against the majority of compositions. Okay, so we're gonna go in again. Disruptor gets popped. I mean, I would shield hop through this, right? Because you know what? Disruptor does 200 damage. Like, it's no joke. Like, I would shield hop through this quickly to get to the corner, and then I can fight the Zarya. Right? Just walking through this, you take way too much damage. Zarya's bubbling right now. When bubble is up, you should think, hey, can I kill her through this bubble? No? Probably shouldn't attack the bubble. Right? So right now, like, this is not bad time to be attacking the bubble. You're just feeding her charge. Also, you're taking damage here against in the disruptor unnecessarily. Just jump on top of the hedge and you're good to go. Okay, great. Now attack. Okay, wait. Whoa, she's bubbling. All right, so let's shield for a sec. Okay, great. Now attack. All right, you charge. I think this is okay charge. Right? I don't hate that. So you've gotten naded. She's gotten nanoed. So I would continue this attack. Right now, this moment in time, I would continue attacking her, even through the bubble, because she's killable right now. She has only 100 health, okay? And she's in the open. If you pop the bubble right now, there's a very, very, very high likelihood that she dies right now if you pop that bubble. So that is a bubble that I would have popped, right? Plus she's high energy anyway, so like, who cares? Great. So this is a good example of a decision that is incorrect. So you rotate behind statue. As I previously mentioned, going this side of statue does not help short range heroes at all, because what the heck are you gonna do out here? Like, okay, this is like a potentially juicy fire strike. Also, it's off target. You really should have been throwing it to the left. But now what? What, you're gonna run 5 seconds to the enemy team and hope they're still there by the time you get there? You see how helpless this is? Like, you can't do anything because you're consistently putting yourself in situations where you're too far away from the enemy. If I'm trying to get to the people in the back line, I don't want a path out here, right? I want a path like this or like this. Those are my options. Like, the way that you path to the enemy is super important on Reinhardt. Don't take long angles. Long angles are ones where you're very far from the enemy and they can shoot you the whole time. I want to stay in cover as long as I can, and then go, wow, now I'm suddenly in your face. Right? That's the way that you get to the enemy. And I think you realize, oh shoot, this isn't going to do anything. And then you're like, okay, let me go after the Zarya. This actually is a good charge opportunity, by the way, and you're going to miss this one. You would have got hindered anyway, though. But Zarya has popped bubble. Right? What does that generally mean? Hold shield. Just hold shield. You can pop over. Hold. You can interrupt this hammer swing right now. Hold shield. Hold shield. Yeah, see? Like, you're a little slow. Okay, now you get the swing again. But I do not want to play here. Here allows 4 or 5 people to shoot me. I want to fight her from here because she's already in my face. The difference between here and here is immense. Here, I can get melted. Here, 0 chance of me dying. Okay, literally 0. I don't care if all the enemy players are all top 500. I literally cannot die if I'm standing here, right? But here, I can get killed almost instantly, right? Especially with purple up. This fire strike was unbelievably reckless. So you're already purple here, okay, which means that your health is not going to be restored. You're 412 health. You just need to hold shield and back up from the corner. Throwing that fire strike could have resulted in you instantly dying. When the enemy team is better at higher ranks, you will literally instantly die because they're all going to be shooting you in the head. Okay? Like, I cannot emphasize enough, this is an unbelievably reckless fire strike. So, backing up here. Okay, I understand you're trying to get back to the choke. I think you would have been fine playing inside quarter 2, but I think this is understandable. This is fine. Alright. So, we're good. I would note here is that you really want more shield right before you start this push. A big reason, like, I know, it's a good thing here is that you're trying to save your shield, but the problem is you take a ton of damage on the way in as a result. You could have waited around the corner for another, like, 3-4 seconds to give yourself shield, right? Shield charge is really fast. It's like, I don't know, like 150, 200 health a second. So think of that as extra healing that you get when you're waiting around a corner, right? Your health is not 600 excluding the effective health from armor. Your health is not 600, it's 600 plus your whole shield, right, which is like 1300-ish health. So you basically have you're like a 1900 health tank, not a 600 health tank, as long as you have your shield. So very, very important. So this is a good charge in, right? Again, you don't get the pin, but that's okay. Worry less about pins and worry more about repositioning enemies. So she still dies here, right? Just keep swinging, break this, immediately shatter. Right? Wall happens, okay, great. Like, you don't need to shatter, excellent. So, there are 4 enemies. They're all grouped up. I can shatter this, right? If I feel like there's any doubt that I win this fight, I can shatter this. You're probably going to win this fight, but I personally shatter here anyway because Reinhardt farms shatter really fast. So I'd feel comfortable shattering here just to make sure it's a clean win. So everyone starts evading. Now you shatter, but the problem is that the Moira is going to keep the Ana alive. So I think you recognize this is a mistake. You should have charged right here, right, to make sure that the Ana dies. Right? Done a quick short charge into this wall and then immediately focus the rest of the team. So now you get this weird situation where the Ana lives. So Reinhardt only does, I think, 85 to 100 damage a second. Not a lot without Fire Strike. And with the Fire Strike, that's just like kind of a one-time burst. But it's just something to think about here is that this Moira is able to solo save the Ana, right? And at no moment in time could you have killed her because she never dropped below 100. So this is 100% on you, right? This is just bad mechanics. Just not charging here to confirm the kill. Right? Also, the shatter should have happened earlier as opposed to later. That is a bad pin. And I think it's funny because you're probably like, wait, but it killed the soldier. Why is this a bad pin? There is no world where the soldier should die here. She has plenty of time to react to this, and she has slide available. This is an easy slide in either direction for her to not die. This will not happen at higher ranks. So what I want to emphasize is, like, it's not always just about how outcomes, like what happened. It's like, did you make the right decision at the time? This is a really, really bad charge, right? It was far safer and more reliable to simply hold shield here, stand around the corner so you don't get coalesced, and then, like, the soldier can't do anything, right? Just block off her LOS, and she's never going to be able to kill anybody, and you automatically cap the point. But charging here created the risk that she would get by you and kill your team, or escape, right? And then continue applying pressure to you, and then you don't have charge for anything else to react. Just chill. I don't think you want to be pushing right now, right? Convert the cap, right? So it's just you and Lifeweaver, right? So Lifeweaver has to stay here, and I'd recognize that. I'm like, look, okay. So I don't want to hold shield right now either, right? Your shield is 615. Why? Just step around the corner and just lower the shield. You don't need to do anything right now with the shield. Like, I understand trying to, like, make sure that to control the corner, but you don't need to hold your shield up. All right, same deal as Zarya, right? Force bubble. Yep, okay. That's a good example of where you should cancel to not give her charge, right? Swing one, bubble goes up, I cancel right now, right? Just shield cancel right away. Right? She still has another bubble, so I'm not hard committing here. At this point in time, you can consider charging and killing, because right now, she should probably die. Because the Ana died earlier, so nobody here can stop you from landing this charge. So charging here to kill is a reasonable option right now, and then escaping into Mega, controlling this corner, and using the Mega health pack to stay alive. Alright, charging back is fine, right? We're still capping. Okay, so always stay near a corner, right? Your shield's at 488. By the way, you don't need to be shielding right now. You're fine. Like, May's get out. She's good. You don't need to be here. You want to be here, or you want to be here. Either one of these options. Always play corners. You're stuck in the middle right now with no shield, which makes you extremely vulnerable. This I agree with. Just break bubble and kill her. But she grabs. Okay. So, we charge in. I think this is an okay charge. I don't love it, but I, like, understand why you did it. I think now that there's a Reaper in the game, Reaper does 216 damage a second, right? Not including headshots. So at close range, right, where he's going to hit headshots against you, you should assume that Reaper will do something like 300 damage a second, which means Reaper alone will kill you in 2 seconds. Like 2.5 seconds. Really, really fast. So always think, like, hey, if there's a Reaper in the game, I need to play differently because he melts me. That doesn't mean you can't play Rein against him, right? He melts all the tanks, but it's something to think about is, like, look, I have to play a little safer than I normally would if I was playing against, like, you know, a Genji, for example. Genji does basically no damage against you. This is a great example where you don't kill the Genji, right? 2, 3, 4, just walk forwards and kill him, or Fire Strike cancel. But we're going to see here that you are going to slow down. You see how you walk backwards? You could have killed this Genji right now. Like, stuff like that is just really sloppy on your side. Okay, we're going to jump forward now, because we already did the Reinhardt bit. We're going to go to third point attack. So they've swapped Winston for whatever reason. I do not think Winston is a good call here, but we're going to, it is what it is. So you've capped third. All right, got a minute and 45 seconds left. So what's the game plan here? Well, the game plan here is I want to fight the Winston, right? Because the Winston's playing effectively a brawl Winston, right? So he is the frontmost element. Like, obviously, if the Kira goes here, I'll fight the Kira first. But I have to fight whoever's in front because I'm Reinhardt. I don't really have any choices here. Like, I can charge into the back line, but again, I can get slept, I can get naded. Like, it's very, very dangerous for me to do so unless I have the opportunity to do that. So for the most part, I simply fight whatever is the frontmost element, right? Frontmost hero. So I go for the Winston. Okay, great. Just keep swinging at him. So, again, you see how you back away from him? You need to stop letting people off the hook. Stay connected to him, right? That hit right there. Great. Keep swinging. You're at 600 health. You got 2 supports. You got, like your whole team here, your spawns here. You can even take risks right now. So, you see you're going to land another swing? Great. Now keep walking forwards. You see how you're walking backwards? So now you've disconnected, so now you can't hit him anymore. But you see how low the Winston is? If you're just up here, right, you get another swing in, you probably force Primal very, very early as a result. Stuff like that is you're just not reading how much health I have and whether or not I'm going to win this trade. Reinhardt versus Winston is enormously favored for the Reinhardt. Like, if you could be swinging at a Winston, that is amazing. You're definitely going to win a game if you're swinging and hitting Winston like all game long because you just do so much more damage to him than he does to you, right? Winston goes in, he pops Primal, yep, charge. I think this is a good response to this. Great. Like, there's literally nothing you can do right now other than just hit the Winston, right? You're all at your spawn. Like, nobody should really die here. If you die, it's not a big deal. I would just wait out Primal, basically. I wouldn't go crazy here, right? Because remember, the Winston is super disruptive. So what you need to be clocking in your head right now is this Winston is going to jump and attack my backline in a second, which means I'm not going to have any help here, which means I cannot engage the rest of the team, especially since I'm already at 2/3 health. I need to slow the fight down. Slowing the fight down means reducing both damage taken and damage given. Okay? Speeding up a fight means increasing damage given, right? Damage dealt, but also increasing damage taken. So when I say speed up a fight, speeding up a fight would be charging in here and swinging wildly. That rapidly speeds up the fight, right? Because either you're going to kill somebody right away or you're going to die right away. Slowing down the fight is just holding shield and backing up. That slows the fight down and reduces damage taken and damage dealt. That's what you need to do right now until Primal is over, because Primal is very disruptive. But you see how you're aggressing right now. You're speeding up the fight, but your supports can't help you right now because the Winston is knocking them around. So as a result, you get melted. So you're making the wrong read here, which is slow. You're speeding up instead of slowing down. All right. We're out here. So once again, once you get connected to the Winston, do not let him off the hook. Unless I have a reason to back off, like because I've taken too much damage, keep hitting him. Just, you see how you walk away right now, and now you're out of swing range. Again, and by the way, you would hit this if you had, maybe it's just outside of range of camera swing probably. Stay connected with the Winston. As he backs up, keep swinging. Generally speaking in the game, once someone is in hammer swing range, they cannot escape from hammer swing range forever unless they have a movement ability. The reason is all heroes have the same base movement speed, except Genshin and Tracer, and when they walk backwards, they slow by 10%. So once someone is in hammer range, they cannot escape hammer range unless they use a movement ability to get away. So once you're connected to this Winston, do not stop swinging until you have to, until you take, like the Reaper gets close, or you get naded, or whatever else happens, right? But do not let him off the hook, because otherwise you get stuck in this weird zone where he's zapping you and you can't hit him. This is bad. You want to avoid this as Reinhardt. It's like probably one of the most common situations where you are countered is where the enemy is attacking you, but you can't attack them, right? Very, very important to stay connected there. So, yeah, aggress right now. That's fine. So, one thing to think about is that Winston zaps in like a huge AoE. So I don't want to be bunched with my team. I actually want to play on the side, so he chooses between zapping me or zapping my team instead of zapping me and zapping my team. You get slept. So you get slept. Suzu right away. Keep aggressing. Why? Why not? First of all, the Winston has jumped out. Second, like my team's with me. The Reaper alone is not going to stop me, right? Just walk into him, and then if he stays there, start swinging at him. This is a bad charge. I have no idea what you're trying to accomplish with this charge. So, this is dangerous. Okay? So, remember previously I said, okay, fight the Reaper. Yeah, fighting the Reaper makes sense when he's in front of you, and that way you can fight him and be like, oh, I'm getting low, you hold shield. The problem here is if you get low, holding shield doesn't help because the backline can still kill you from this angle, right? So this is much more dangerous. So I don't want to fight him like this, I want to fight him like this. That way I can quickly shield and jump backwards if I need to make sure I stay alive. So Reaper, as I mentioned, shreds you. look at how much damage he does, right? 500, 427, 306, 198. That one did 200 damage to you, right? And then 90. He'd be doing even more damage if he was slightly better at aiming. So this obviously should be a charge if you're going to do that here, because he's slept. But you're going to wake him, and then everything's going to go terribly. This should be a kill. This should be a Fire Strike cancel right there, right? 1, 2 Fire Strike cancel right now, right? Pop Fire Strike, he dies, right? Oh, he's jumping? Great. I swing with him. I kill him on landing, right? Also, this Fire Strike never had a prayer, right? It's very clear that he's retreating to his team. This Fire Strike should have been sent down the road instead towards the wall. But like little mechanics like this, you end up killing him there. It's extremely lucky. There's no reason for him to do that. Little mechanics like these accumulate so fast across the course of your game that are a big difference between you and being a higher rank, right? There's lots of these little errors that happen all the time that are resulting in you getting killed, you letting teammates die, and you not confirming kills. So, Hanzo's here, right? He's popping ulti. Genji dashes in. I charge. Why not? Like, first of all, my Hanzo's super low, but even if it wasn't low, I would charge in here to help my Genji, or help my Hanzo, because the Genji just dashed in. He has no ability to escape unless he kills the Hanzo. So I'm going to charge in here to try to get the kill. Like, you just look at this and you just ignore it. What? Right? Like, let's think about this for a second. The Genji just dashed in. He has no mobility skills right now. You could just charge in right now and either pin him or kill him in one hit. But instead, you're like, oh, okay, I'm sure my Hanzo's got this, and you let him die. At the minimum, trade for your Hanzo, right? Now it's too late, right? But even then, like now, I don't know if you're like super focused on the cart or something, but like you have 30 seconds left. You don't have to worry about the cart. You have plenty of time. Okay. Funny thing, so because you're overly focused on the cart, you have not been protecting your backline at all, which has allowed the Kiriko and the Genji to get on your Ana, and your Ana is completely left here alone while you're just hanging out, like doing literally nothing. Like what are you doing right now that's helping your team win the game? Sitting on the cart? Like that's not helping your team win. You need to save your Ana. Without your Ana, you're not going to win this fight anyway. Anyway, that's point number 1. Point number 2 here is you see that your Ana is in trouble. I see that there are 2 heroes. Right, well, Genji's in here right now, right? So 1 right now. Kiriko comes in. She has popped Suzu. I shatter right now. Because what are they going to do to stop this? The Genji dashed in. The Kiriko Swift stepped in. And she Suzu'd. They have literally nothing to stop shatter right now. At a minimum, I'm going to trade 2 out. Okay, 19 seconds is like... This is very likely the last fight, right? Shatter right here. I kill 2. Maybe even save my Ana. Maybe not, right? Depends on how fast the shatter comes out. But at a minimum, 2 heroes are dying right now for sure. Like, I guarantee you, these 2 heroes, no matter what skill level they're at, if they're GM top 500, it is impossible for them to survive right now if you shatter them. And they have no ability to dodge the shatter because they've used all their cooldowns. My Ana might die here, but if I trade for 2, that gives me a chance to push the cart at a minimum to here-ish, maybe all the way out here if my Ana manages to walk back and regroup with the team. Not shattering right here is a huge mistake. Yeah. Genji gets nano popped. Right, so he's as soon as I see Nano and I see him not pop Blade right away, I know that he doesn't have Blade because he would pop it right now. Virtually every Genji pops Blade when they get Nanoed. I know that he doesn't have Blade, but I know he's close to Blade because most likely here, unless it was to save the Genji, which is not likely here because the Genji's at the Mega, unless it's to save the Genji, the Ana's probably using it so he can farm Nano Blade quickly. Like he's probably 85% plus on Blade, and he's going to use Nano to quickly farm Blade, then pop Blade, and then end the game. So, my perspective here is, I'm not going to kill a Nano Genji, especially with a Mega, just hold shield. right? That's going to slow his ability to get ult charge. And in fact, he's at 89% ult charge. So look at how much he's going to farm off you. 91, 94, right? 96, 98, 100. He's going to die here, but this is ridiculous that he dies. This is another example of like everyone at this level makes so many mistakes still. He dashes you. That's why. So, oh no, he tries to dash out and he gets hindered. Okay. I understand now. Okay, this is actually a lot more reasonable than I expected. So this Cassidy nade is huge because there's no reason for him to die here, but it not only stops him from dashing, it literally interrupts his dash. So now he has no ability to get away. So yeah. But even then, he still could have survived if he just walked out here. The Ana's trying to heal him, so if he just got in LOS, he would have lived here. But just a note here, I do not think that this consistently would have worked at higher ranks, or even just in general, even at this rank. But at this point, you're basically screwed no matter what. You have no team, so like nothing's gonna matter here. Okay, let's cover defense. So, for defense, you have the right general idea, which is I want to hold this corner. So, the first problem you're going to get is, what do you do about heroes that are playing out here that are shooting at you? The short answer is you can't do anything about them. I mean, like, it is what it is. But you don't want to stand here. You don't want to burn shield. You don't want to lose health. Just sit here, right? And you might be like, oh, but like now I'm not interacting with them. Great. They're not interacting with you either. There's not a whole lot that you can do about heroes that are standing here. That's just the way this point is designed. That's okay. They eventually need to walk through this point, and when they start walking up, then you get the swing at them. But don't be out here like taking so much damage. See? Just chill. Just chill. Okay, Junkrat starts stepping up. Great. Yeah, swing at her. She gets out of range. Okay, pop shield, get right back in cover. This is a bad fire strike. These are low percentage fire strikes to begin with, but also you don't want to stay in the open too long because you take too much damage. Just chill here. So, you see that the Junker Queen is here. You have the opportunity to come around the corner, swinging, and hit her once and then come back in. Or hit her once and learn Fire Strike. That's how you're going to farm ult charge here. So, this is another moment of indecision, right? 1, 2. It would have been great if you just step back behind cover. Instead, you try to pursue for a third attack, and then you think better of it, and then you shield. It was the correct call to not continue pursuing that because there's way too much damage right now. But I would note is you should know, like, don't get greedy. Don't think, oh, I'm going to kill the Junker Queen. You're not going to kill the Junker Queen. There's no way you're going to kill the Junker Queen. Your goal here is simply to slow them down and farm ulti, right? Don't get too greedy with your swings. Just chill. Literally, just sit behind the corner and wait. Like, it's fine. See, again, you're standing in the open. Everyone can attack you right now. This is going to result in a lot of damage. Now you're stuck in the middle of Disruptor. If you're playing here, this never happens. Right? Just back up. Okay, great. She steps forward. I don't want to step in Disruptor. I want to stay in the outside of Disruptor and swing. Right? Okay, if I can't step out, then just hold shield. You see how low you're getting? So, because you get so low, you spook your Kiriko, and now she's used Suzu, which means she doesn't have Suzu for the next 15 seconds. People can easily die in 15 seconds, but this is all because you're just not playing this gate well mechanically. You're having so much trouble here playing this gate because you just don't know when to swing, when not to swing. Like, look, you're almost dead right now. You could have just died right there. Like, you don't need to take these risks. Literally, like, it's their job to push. Just sit here, right? Just hit here, swing in the corner, occasionally step out for a swing when you're full health, and just stay there. You really do not need to do anything right now. I would note, right now is a charge opportunity. So she's jumping, which means she can't back up easily. And number 2, I can charge and pin her against this wall or deeper in, and she's definitely going to die here. The Ana might sleep, but this is a fairly short space. Like, it's a hard sleep for her to time this like correctly. So I think that's potentially a risk worth taking. Right? I don't think you have to, but it's a risk worth taking. This is just reckless behavior. Okay, all the things have gone wrong here. Number 1, you're leaving corner, right? You're playing very wide outside the corner instead of playing close to the corner. Number 2, you have no shield. Number 3, you have you're antied. Okay. Number 4, you don't even have fire strikes. How are you gonna kill her? Right? Like, you need to think through this stuff and be like, oh, is this effective? Like, you're just taking damage here for no reason, and you're very lucky you did not take more damage. Again, you're trying way too hard to try to kill this Junker Queen. Just stop. Think about it as controlling the choke, and think of it less as trying to kill her. Just control the choke and your team wins. Release a shield. Just chill. Just relax. Oh my god, okay. So I understand why you charge this. It looks similar to the previous one, but it's not. So in this situation, first of all, you're starting to charge late, right? You see that she's already almost on the ground. Number two is she was over here before, around the corner. Now she can just step backwards, which is exactly what she does, and now you can't get it in. So you're super low. Now you need to chill. Now you have no shield, and you're purple. You're in big trouble right now. So don't swing. You don't need to do anything right now. Just relax, right? Okay, it's very lucky that you don't get punished by the Echo, because the Echo can see you this whole time, right? If she stickies you right now, you take a ton of damage. All right, you're gonna kill the Junker Queen, so she's definitely making some mistakes here. The Junker Queen should just flip her side to beat this side, and she shouldn't have to worry about it. But you know, everyone makes mistakes. You have a Fire Strike right now, and you never use it. I remember seeing this in replay review, and I was like, this is so painful. You see her here, right? Like, just go for it. Why not? Okay, back to the choke. So, I should note, hey, look, I almost have Shatter. Junker Queen's probably close to Rampage. So, I should think, hey, look, Rampage is going to be a problem. So, for Rampage, I can Shatter it if I have Shatter. I can Charge it if I have Charge, right? Or I can just shield off the rest of the team and hope my team kills the Junker Queen. Those are generally your three best options. Just control the choke. Okay, here we go. So unfortunately, you don't have any of the options that I mentioned because you're in Fire Strike animation and you don't have Shatter yet because she's done a better job farming ulti than you. So be it. Okay, I would step back, let her go through, then I just shield off her team. Right? Because if I cut out 4, like if she kills my team solo, nothing I can do about that anyway. Like me going over there is not going to change anything. So just zone out all 4 people in the team and hope your team is able to stop her. Which, you know, for the record, is what's happening. She's not killing anybody right now. All right, so let's go back to you. So she pops ulti. Okay, great. You decide to let her go. This is the right call. You go for Shatter. This is good Shatter. Unfortunate that the Echo manages to block that. So you're low right now. Yeah, Reinhardt, you obviously did not expect that. You're gonna try to stay alive, and then you're gonna die here, which is unfortunate. For the record, when you get low here, the correct response was not to go left; it was to go right. So the Reinhardt's not gonna miss you anyway, right? Again, once someone's in hammer swing range, they never get out of a hammer swing range. You should have stayed to the right to give your supports a chance to heal you. Most likely they wouldn't have because the Junker Queen's like on top of them. But I just want to note is that the correct call would have been go right, not left. And after this, there's not a lot you could do here. I think the primary issue here is simply that you didn't farm ramp or Shatter fast enough. But even then, I think you made like the best decisions you could in this situation. All right, we'll cover. Actually, no, we're not gonna cover anymore. Okay, so re-summarizing, right? Number 1, understanding when you can apply pressure and doing so. Number 2, lots of mechanics related problems, right? Around not connecting swings, not fire striking when you can, not canceling your swings on bubbles, not charging well, etc., etc. And then what was my third one? Oh, whatever. Anyway, general like decision making about like how to play corners and like, oh, you're staying alive. That's the thing that's really important. Yeah. So you get melted several times in this game, like completely unnecessarily, where you definitely should have realized like I just hold shield here and I'm good and it's fine and the fight will continue. But you let yourself die in bad situations. Okay, I'm gonna stop there. Hopefully this is helpful.